Ads aren't supposed to feel like ads, but most of the time they do. They hit like a wall. They interrupt. They make you cringe or scroll away fast. And if that's what people feel every time they see marketing, how the hell are founders, professionals, and leaders supposed to get their message out? You're trying to change industries, lead teams, build futures, but your efforts feel wasted because your ads, your story, sound like every other noise in the background. The truth is, that kind of advertising grinds down your energy, kills your momentum, and leaves you feeling invisible in a sea of sameness. And that's the nightmare nobody talks about. It's painful to pour your heart and soul into something, only to have it bounce off listless eyes, drowned in fatigue. You see others getting traction, their brands growing, their influence expanding, and you wonder, what magic do they have? How do their messages slip past the armor of tired attention? The secret isn't more spending or louder shouting. It's a shift bigger than tactics, bigger than platforms. It's about connection. Deep, primal, magnetic connection. The kind that moves people before their brains have the chance to say no. Why do some ads never feel like ads? Because they don't interrupt. They don't shove products or pitches into your face. Instead, they tell stories that breathe alongside you, whisper truths you already know, but forgot to say out loud. They don't sell. They invite you to belong. And when people belong, they listen. They remember. They act. They become part of something that feels real, urgent, and alive. Here's the bitter pill most marketing doesn't want you to swallow. No amount of fancy words or slick editing changes the fact that the old playbook is broken. Audiences don't trust noise, they crave authenticity. They hunger for something raw, unfiltered, close to their own struggles and dreams. If your message feels polished but dead, it's because it's missing one vital pulse, human truth. Without it, you're just another voice in the echo chamber. So what's the real glue behind the ads that don't feel like ads? It's empathy that isn't a strategy, but a conviction. It's understanding before talking, listening before selling. It's placing yourself inside the messy, chaotic reality of your audience's lives and speaking from their pain, their hopes, their frustrations. Imagine not selling a product, but offering a lantern to someone lost in the fog. That becomes a gift, not an annoyance. But let's get even deeper. This kind of connection requires daring to be vulnerable, to show cracks, not just the shiny surface. Because in a world built on polished illusions and silent compromises, authenticity is revolutionary. It's rare, it's powerful, it's magnetic. Not everyone can pull it off because it demands risk. The risk that someone will reject you. But here's the hidden truth. Rejection is a sign you're reaching. It means you're breaking beyond the numb middle. So, lean into that discomfort. Make your ads feel like conversations between old friends, like shared secrets whispered in a crowded room. Here's a practical reality. Attention is scarce. The second you make your audience think, this is just a commercial, you've lost them. What if you flip that? What if your message felt like a lifeline, something threaded into their daily lives so tightly they didn't even notice it was advertising? This is how the best brands build empires, not by demanding attention, but by earning it. They give before they take. They educate, they inspire, they challenge, they entertain. Every piece of content feels like a soulful reply to an unasked question. To do that, start by dropping the rules about what marketing is supposed to be. Forget funnels that choke people. Forget scripts that sound robotic. Forget churn and burn mentality. Instead, get obsessed with the edge cases, the outliers, the rare few who see the world differently. These are your future allies, your tribe. They don't want your product, they want a new way forward. Help them see how your offering is not a convenience, but a catalyst. Not a tool, but a transformation. Don't aim to fit in the system. Aim to break out of it. The ads that never feel like ads are made by people who refuse the status quo. They don't bluff or hide behind jargon. They speak plainly and boldly, with raw clarity. They speak the language of liberation, of fighting the hidden chains of comfort and mediocrity. They tap into the human need to be sovereign, to create, and to connect without pretense. This is how advertising stops being noise and starts being a shared mission. Now here's the kicker. This kind of marketing can't be mass produced or faked. It's handcrafted, personal, and wildly unpredictable. It flows from a community of misfits who don't settle for surface level success but want real breakthroughs. Founders who build not only companies but movements. Leaders who don't just lead teams but ignite fires in souls. Professionals who don't follow trends but create realities. This marketing feels alive because it's alive. It evolves with the people it serves, respects their intelligence, challenges their boredom, embraces their chaos. But there's more. Ads that never feel like ads embed themselves into culture organically. They don't scream for attention. They weave into conversations, rituals, and emotions. They borrow from real life, from music, from humor, from struggle. They respect the audience's time and trust. They understand one fundamental law. People buy from people, but only if those people share a recognizable heartbeat. Marketing that gets that heartbeat right doesn't just sell. It saves attention from drowning, restores meaning to interactions, and rebuilds trust that's been shattered by decades of empty promises. And for founders and leaders watching this, it's your call to action not to copy what worked before, but to reinvent what marketing can be. It's a summons to reject the comfortable scripts fed by the system that demands conformity. Break the mold. Start conversations that scare you a little. Challenge the invisible chains that bind your audience and yourself. Build marketing that feels human because it is human. Campaigns that don't just chase results, but create legacies. Turn every ad into a bridge, from isolation to connection, from noise to signal, from confusion to clarity. Imagine your marketing as the spark in the dark, the pulse that wakes people up from the trance of indifference. The ads that never feel like ads don't just sell products, they build tribes. They forge alliances, they birth revolutions. So here's the choice. Keep pumping out hollow messages that blend into forgettable noise, or craft every single interaction as a step toward freedom. Freedom from the ordinary, freedom from the fake, freedom from the invisible slavery of mediocre marketing. The ads that never feel like ads don't happen by accident. They're born from relentless courage, fierce clarity, and an unshakable belief in the power of the individual. That individual is the one who shapes what's next. Not the system, not the algorithm, but the person who refuses to settle. There's no hiding behind brands anymore. The era of faceless advertising is over. It's time to be fearless, to be personal, to be honest, and brutal in your truth. When the world tries to box you in, remind yourself, the best marketing is not about selling a product. It's about setting people free. That's what makes your message magnetic. That's what makes you unstoppable. Because when your marketing stops feeling like marketing, it starts feeling like life. And nothing is more addictive than that.